All right, all right, all right. Me, 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 me. Dave Tao. Hey, Rice. Did you stop by the store? Yo, Adrian. It is springtime. Let me go on my greeting top hat. What's going on, Dave Tao? Adrian, Rice, Char. Hit the like button on your way in. Like the stream. Like the stream. It is springtime, and as with springtime, we have the Pookie and Ray Ray wars raging in full intensity, which I thought we had put to bed like 2 years ago. Really, thought we had put all that Pookie and Ray Ray stuff to bed, but it starts anew. So I guess it's the what they say, like the elephants. All the black men are in Musk. So it's about dominance right now. Everybody's jockeying for position. Hey, Rom, what's going on? Oh, okay. All right. All right. I'll take it off. All right. I'll take it off. Let me let me go ahead and do this real quick. Hold on a second. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. No issues. Let me edit it real quick. No, no, no. It's all right. Let me all right. Save. And away we go. So what's up? Yeah, just wanted to holler real quick. Yeah, it's the environment's changing. Everybody, yeah, they know it. But the thing is, I think the yeah, I think this. I'm starting to get this pattern that every spring during the springtime, it's always this educated lane versus the Pookie and Ray Ray every time around spring, and then it'll rage until like around summer. Then everybody will settle down, and then cuffing season, nobody cares. So I'm starting to see a pattern. So because I was wondering, I said, why would I know why Rob would actually, be in his feelings and get with the educated lames and the goofy dudes or whatever you want to call the cornballs. He would actually start it, but I didn't think it would pick up intensity like this. Even though um, Obsidian will use anything for cannon fodder, but I didn't think it would be that serious. So I'm sure Rom wouldn't have addressed it unless he was getting like emails. Because yeah, because I started to actually weigh in. I said, you know what? Since I didn't get no emails and nobody asked me about it, I'm gonna chill. Because I started to record something, but I said, you know what? I'm gonna stay out of it this time. Hey, Katz, there's Sergeant Katz. She's still on the Operation Secure the Bag. Her and Neon. Oh yeah, yeah. Because I think that's the beginning of mating season in springtime. It was a donation. I don't. You know what? It's really not that big a deal. It's really not that big. There's more than enough women to go around. It's not that big a deal. Hey, Taria, what's going on? Taria, we're gonna enlist you in the BGS for Women Army, and we're gonna send you out on a mission to secure the bag. I have 2 enlistees already. You're a capitalist. So we got Neon. Neon is the advanced scout. She's in Austin with all the techies. So and actually she's from what I'm hearing, she's doing quite well. You know, she's got some more than a few nibbles. Well, we ain't gonna talk about your past, Ron. We ain't gonna talk about your past. We talk about the new Rom, the wiser Rom. We ain't talking about the old reckless Rom in his 20s. Because reckless Rom in DC probably ran buck wild. Yeah, oh man, yeah. Everybody I'm hearing says, now it's women shaking the bushes. It's not your past. You just say, uh, if you want to come on, Rom, Char Willie can actually send you the link. She probably already sent you the link. You can jump on anytime you get ready. Well, was hoping you was a reformed hoe. Yeah, it's gonna get serious. Yeah, you better, because they're gonna be sperm jacking, boy, for in a minute. Because what's coming down the pike is mean, man. It was mean. They're talking about the United States declaring bankruptcy on its debts, which that hasn't happened, man, since 1971. And the United States was in much better shape at the time when they last did it. So them to actually declare insolvency on their debts, sheesh, it's gonna be something, man. Yeah, well, I know Georgia and Illinois is trying to ban abortion with the heartbeat bill because they want white women to have kids. In fact, I was going to do a video on kind of squash some of this stuff because this single mother shit and babies out of wedlock is way overblown because the fertility rate for Black people is way way down. Because I think the fertility rate for Black folks, uh, it let me see if I can find a chart because I was actually I love charts, man. When I was trading stocks and commodities, man, I fell in love with charts. And man, it's not the one I'm looking for. There's one I was looking for that was real nice. Okay. Yep, that's the one. That's the one. Hold on a second. Let me share this with you guys real quick and show you guys what I'm talking about. Um, enlarge this a bit so we get a nice little peek. Okay, see that is the Black fertility rate. Actually, the Black fertility rate before 1970 was about 3. Was like right up here. It was close to 3, and it went down after 1972 with birth control. So this is since 1980. Um, you see, right after 1986, really they needed more kids. So they wanted to really what they wanted to do was push the white birth rate up. So they actually gave more money to a not child support, but child support, also welfare, because they wanted to push the white birth rate up. But what they did in reaction to that is also did what push the Black birth rate up. So basically, in 1992, the fertility rate for Black women was 2.5, which is a little bit above um, replacement. But you can see that since then, how far down it's come. So basically, and this is 2010, and I think now they write it down right around where the white women are, which is like 1.7. So basically, black folks are well below replacement. So the thing is that we have too many out of wedlock kids. We don't have enough kids. Period. It's not enough black people, not black children being born to actually replace the folks that are already here. So that myth of that there's too many children now, there might be too many, you know, supposedly out of wedlock kids. In fact, I think most of the kids are actually uh, are not registered as far as being with a father because they're not married. But the thing is to say that there's a fertility crisis and all these single mothers having kids all over the place is not true. It's not true. So you have a lot of, even with single mothers, they're having one. They're not having five or six. So this thing that single mothers having five or six. Now you might have a guy that's fertilizing like six women, but the thing is they're all like having one each. Not having like a slew of kids. Because even with my mother had five children. Okay. I had three, which is two less than she had, right? And all my kids only have one. And that's common. You can join me anytime you want, Rice. You don't have to wait on me.
Hey,
What's going on?
nothing much.
Okay. Let me go
Just
ahead. Rhyme said his link's not working, so I'm gonna email him.
okay.
Yeah, but so basically, I understand what they're saying as far as out of wedlock birth. I keep saying this is the phenomenon is not just with black women. The phenomenon is with all women. Now, black women black women have always had higher out of wedlock birth. So it's always been like three times the rate of white women. So that's not unusual. The thing is that white women and everybody else is catching up with black women, and that's all over the world because the out of wedlock birth rate for Sweden is 60%. So that's pretty close to where black women have actually leveled out. So they are not they it hasn't increased. The only basically for if you think about it, the out of wedlock birth rate actually matches the marriage rate for black women. That's black women aren't getting married. That's all it is. It's not that they're having a gang of kids or even abortion. The abortion rate is down. That crashed. So it's not that black women are actually being overly irresponsible. I think what they did was right after 1996, they started introducing free condoms. So you have a lot of poor black boys that couldn't afford condoms, basically giving to them free, and that's really what brought the fertility rate down. They actually cut it down by more than a quarter, like what 30%. So you have 30% less children, and that was 2010. It's even more than that now. I think 2.55. I think the last was 1.75. So you talk about um, yeah, not half, but you talk about damn near like yeah, like 40% off of what it was just 20 years ago. So it's a phenomenon it's a phenomenon that's all over the world. A higher out of wedlock birth rate and also a lower birth rate. So your fertility rate is way down. In fact, the basically there's only a couple regions that are above replacement, and most of the basically that's in Africa, and the rest of the regions are either right at replacement or below replacement. So that's it's a worldwide phenomenon. With a high out of birth wedlock birth rate and a lower fertility rate, which they're still trying to grapple with. And we just point at black women because because they've been doing it for so long. But that is a constant in our in our culture. So people think that it all of a sudden exploded. It exploded for everybody. In fact, I just showed you the reason that the fertility rate went up for black women in the 90s is because they were actually giving more money to actually push the white birth rate up. So the black fertility rate will probably go back up. So there's going to be a big birth of babies, I would say, in the next 10 years because they're going to they're actually going to eliminate a lot of female rights, female fertility rights, because they need white women to have babies. So they're gonna pull a lot of plugs from the feminists. So all that feminist agenda shit's gonna get ready to get pulled. But Cerulean said it was probably gonna get pulled. So they're really gonna encourage one, women to probably to marry, and two, for them to have more kids. And it's not really for black women; it's gonna be for white women. But the thing is, whatever happens to them happens to us. And if they cut the fertility rights um, for white women, damn sure they're gonna cut it for black women. But that's the price they're willing to pay. I sent you the link, Rom, through email, so try that and let me know if it worked. You ain't gonna get no male pill. You ain't gonna get not what the fertility rate is like it is now. You can forget about the male pill. They do have a procedure, and they have a procedure that actually works. But I knew they wasn't gonna release it when they look at the fertility rate. Do I have an email open for contacting me? Yeah, I put my email on all my videos. Everybody should know what my email now. Actually, people ask me that question so much that I actually start putting it in the beginning of all my videos.
I'm looking for it right now, BGS, but I saw somewhere they said they were trying to outlaw vasectomies.
Oh, that was a joke. That was actually
You sure?
yeah, in Georgia. She wanted to she wanted to actually illustrate a comparison to the heartbeat bill in Georgia. So it was actually a joke because I saw it. It wasn't a bill. It wasn't a real bill.
Okay.
Because I looked at it and said that doesn't sound right. So I looked at it, and well, basically she was a feminist. She said, "This is how it looks to women."
Oh, comparing vasectomies and abortions.
Yeah, or a restriction of female what is it contraceptives and shit like that.
Oh, okay then.
Yeah, when I looked at it, it was a joke. In fact, the lady that actually published it was talking about it. She wanted to make a point. I think if there's gonna be a male pill, there is a they're developing a male pill, but if they're developing for where? For Africa, not here. So if they're gonna make it available, it's gonna be on the continent of Africa because they want to slow down fertility in Africa. They don't want to slow it down here or in the West. So if you see it and you're gonna see it in Africa first. You won't see it in the West. In fact, they said they had a male contraceptive that was ready. That they're talking about doing trials in West Africa.
Uh,
You guys think this is a level playing field? You guys really think this is a democracy? Wake up.
right.
Wake up. This is not a democracy.
All right. It's not.
It's an empire. In fact, I was listening to what was the name of that book? A book written by talk about the real Abraham Lincoln or something like that. And he said democracy actually died when during the Civil War, when America became an empire, when they took away states' rights.
Hmm. Because the true democracy is like you vote for every single thing. We're like a republic, aren't we?
Well, actually, we're an empire. If because the states had the right to secede, and it was actually written into the Constitution, had the right to secede, even articles of
Hmm.
federation. And when South Carolina and a few others tried to secede because they didn't want to pay the tariffs, Lincoln started a war to bring them back. So basically, it basically ended states' rights and ended the republic. So what you have is an American empire. We call ourselves a democratic republic, but actually we're not. We're an empire.
Mm.
Masquerading as a democracy. We vote and all that kind of stuff, but if things don't go the way that they really think it should, you'll see that other side of them. You see the iron fist instead of the velvet glove.
Yeah.
Just like when you had those protests in the '60s, you start seeing that iron fist.
Hmm. All them water holes and stuff.
Water hoses, dogs, Jim Crow, yeah, wouldn't let you vote, all kind of stuff. Well, LaShawn, yeah, they have a study, but the thing is, let me ask you a question, LaShawn, since you're dropping all this knowledge. You you are running a society, you're running a country, a Western country, especially let's make it a white Western country, such as America. And your white women have a fertility rate is like 1.6, which is well below replacement. And you need to stay a white country. Now it's hard to take the fertility rights away from women because women ultimately do want to have kids because that is their biological function. That is not the biological function of men. Biological function of men is have sex, not to have kids. Now you give men the right to have sex without fertilizing women. What do you think they're going to do? What do you think they're going to do, LaShawn? Would you, if with child support and all that kind of stuff that helps fund babies, what would you do? Would you, and you wanted to have sex? What would you do? Would you take the pill? Would you take the procedure to not have kids? And if you would, how many other men would? What do you think is going to have to happen to the fertility rate if that happens? In other words, it's at 1.6 now. You cut it in half, so you're going to be below one. Your society will not survive with a fertility rate below one. In about 2 generations, your society will be defunct. Hmm? Sperm banks and outsource. Yeah, right. It's not going to happen, kid. Because if with a sperm bank and outsource, then who's going to fund the children? It ain't going to be the men. Two parts to this. One, fathers have to fund the kids, and two, they have to want to have kids. You do that, you're going to cut the fertility rate in half. Women are not going to have kids where there's no finance. They've already proven that. So you will probably not see in the Western world a basically a male pill. Okay, I sent Ram the link. The link worked for you guys, right? You guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So I don't know what's going on. Anyway, what else is coming from the chat? Unless you guys got something.
I'm washing dishes
But
right now.
Ah, a woman after my own heart. Domesticated. You're a domesticated cat. You're a house kitty, huh?
Yeah.
Uh, well, you got rid of that alley cat looking thing.
Oh yeah. That was just for Halloween.
Oh, that's for Halloween. Okay.
Hmm.
I emailed it to Rom, Char Willie, so it's still not working. Tell Rom to check his email.
yeah, I'm just up here, just relaxing.
Did you stop off at the store, Miss
Yep, I
Rice?
got me some cognac
So
and
did you
a
get the screw?
daiquiri,
You get it with the screw top, or you get it with the cork?
just a screw top.
Oh, here you go. Yeah, see. All right, Officer Faulkner was actually gonna put you over his lap and spank you.
Yeah, so I can't drink that other stuff. This one is pretty smooth. It's
Okay.
like, yeah, it does the trick. So gets a little buzz going,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm good. The other stuff is a little bit too much for me.
Eh,
So
LaShawn, if you pass a male pill, your fertility rate will be cut in half. I'm not saying there won't be any babies born, but it's gonna be cut in half. That's the way human beings work. That's how come you're not gonna see it. Guarantee you're not gonna see it here.
I agree because they're already in our community making it seem like having children is like the most evilest thing you could do as a
Mm-hmm.
black person.
Mm-hmm.
So like a lot of people see children as a burden these days.
Mm-hmm.
So uh if they have a pill, I think a lot of men would take it and yeah,
Mm-hmm.
or like some sort of procedure, I think they would go that route because
Mm-hmm.
of how people are being socialized.
Yeah. Hey, Chart. Do I have to start another one? Let me email the link out again. I don't know what's going on. Let me try. Let me try another way.
Shit.
Let me try it another way. Yeah, basically, yeah, they've been preaching that to millennials for uh, since they were in school about doing that, and now that it's working, now they have to unpreach it.
Mhm.
So how do you reverse all that?
I did have a somewhat of a continuation from last week.
Go ahead.
Um, so for Christmas, my mom gave me a copy of Michelle Obama's book.
Mm-hmm. So what'd you think?
Um, I think the Obamas have a really interesting story. I
Mm,
like most of it I liked,
uh-huh.
but like I did notice that she was talking a lot about starting a bunch of programs for girls. And like wasn't there like some speech she made last year that a lot of people was making a big deal about where she was kind of talking about how they raise girls but coddle boys and all that, but she was still
Uh-huh.
kind of throwing shade at boys. So
Yeah.
like and I find it interesting because it's like she was talking towards the end of the book, she was talking about how successful all these different programs she started for like girls. First she made it seem like it was going to be just for like black girls like in the inner city, but then it was like just girls all over the world.
Uh-huh.
But then like President Obama could barely get any support for my brother's keeper.
Oh yeah, yeah,
And
yeah. Oh, oh yeah. The women.
she never even mentioned My Brother's Keeper in her book, by the
Oh, she
way.
didn't. No.
No. So I did find that interesting. Um, so that like that kind of goes back into like the whole raising the girls, coddling the boys and stuff uh discussion we were having last week. And yeah,
You
like the
you
only huh?
you can see it because I've talked to teachers and professors, and it's I mean there's just tons of books um about how black boys are treated in school versus black girls. I mean it's really not new. In fact,
Yeah.
you know there's so much literature on it's ridiculous. The thing is I just haven't dug it all out. You know, I was actually being kind. I said I actually posted one, and I only about the stuff that I have, I only post maybe like 10%. If I really wanted to go in on black women, basically, there's so much material out there that's hidden that I could basically do something almost every day, but I don't
Mm-hmm.
do it. I'm just trying to I'm just trying to prod a little bit. I'm not- but it's you know I've heard it out of their own women's own mind. Well, basically, you guys said it about how you guys were raised versus your brothers. I mean, it's everybody knows about it. It's not. It's like it's a trade secret.
Yeah.
But that's common because as soon as they announced My Brother's Keeper, you had like 1,000 prominent women basically writing a letter against it.
Yeah. And I don't understand why they were so against it, but then like towards the end of her book, she like well, I can understand why I guess women would react to My Brother's Keeper simply because if you do something for boys, especially black boys and black boys only, of course everybody's all like, "Oh, well you got to include everybody. Got to
Hmm.
include the girls, you got to include, boys from other races or whatever."
Hmm.
But like I don't understand why like she the wife of the person who
The
wanted to
first lady,
start it,
yeah, the first lady,
right?
yeah,
Why she wouldn't make any mention of it at all. That's just something I found peculiar.
yeah, because
Um,
she didn't believe in it.
mhm,
She didn't believe in it.
yeah. But one thing that I did like that
Hmm.
she had always like kind of expressed throughout the whole time
Hmm.
the Obamas were in the White House was, talking about childhood obesity. Like that's the
Hmm.
only thing I can really say that I like that she did. I don't really know too much else about what she was really trying to do
Hmm.
and all that because like a lot of these kids are fat, but and I found it like the story behind it was interesting because it turned out her younger daughter was at one point considered
Hmm.
like very overweight, so that's why she took up such an interest with childhood obesity. But yeah, it's yeah.
Well, she really is a black feminist wet dream, Michelle Obama.
Yeah.
And but they're saying it's probably one of the better selling. It's going to probably be one of the better selling autobiographies that's ever come out of the White House,
Mhm.
which more than his.
Yeah. When my mom sent it to me for Christmas, I was all
Hmm.
like, I don't hate Michelle Obama, but I was kind of like, why did you send me this?
Do you have no idea how old black women or middle aged black women love Michelle Obama? You have no idea.
Oh yeah. Cause like when people was voting for President Obama,
Hmm.
they thought they were low key voting for her.
Hmm.
Like it almost seemed like, yeah.
Yeah, basically it was.
Hmm.
Basically it was when actually black women see themselves as Michelle Obama. They can see themselves as being married to the president, which is probably why Scandal was so popular
Hmm.
because black women can actually see themselves married to the president of the United States. They can see themselves in
Yeah.
that role.
And to me, like I've always seen it as the Obamas is more like celebrities than politicians, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, yeah. Basically, they were saying that when he first when he was running for his first his first term, they said he was more like a rock star. In fact, Biden said that it's like traveling with a rock star because he would get 30. He would get overflow crowds every place he went.
Yeah.
So it wasn't, yeah, it could be just a novelty of the first black president has a chance to win or whatever. But yeah, that's the way it was. And then with Michelle by his side, I guess that was I always did like Michelle as far as her charisma because she does have it, which you don't normally find in a couple. Normally it's one or the other. But both of them had charisma, which is unusual. That made them such a good team.
Yeah.
So, and I think for black women, they probably loved her more than him. Because I think my mother has the book out. I'm asking my mother, did she finish reading it? She doesn't read many books. I'm saying she has that one. I have it on audio, but I haven't listened to it yet. Y'all can jump in at any time. You don't have to wait on me.
Yeah, Rom said he tried with 3 different devices and still couldn't get on.
Try the link in the chat, Rom, and see if you can get on. If not, we'll have to start another one and see how that works. Try. I'll post it into the chat and see if it works from there. Yeah, Google is having this issue. Oh, the page link in the chat is bad too. Okay, yeah, Google's having an issue because I just clicked on it. Worked for me and worked for like 4 other people. But I think it's yeah, she made him a human brick. Well, she made him human. Not really. He was already popular before. They knew he'd have the juice to be president. Like 4 years before when he gave the Democratic address in 2004. So they knew he had the juice then. So with or without her, it helped to have her. But the thing is, he had the juice anyway. And basically, you don't want your presidents human. You want them superhuman. Let me know, Char. If not, we'll have to start another one.
We might have to. Nobody can get on.
Nobody can get on. All right, give me 5 minutes, and I'll start another one. All right, you guys, I'll be back. Let me start another one. Let me start a part 2. Google is YouTube is tripping. I'll be right back.